What's up, friends? Today we are tackling the bookshelf. So if you didn't know, last year I did a massive unhaul challenge, and we're at it again because this is just it's a little crazy. I literally have books everywhere. Not only do I have like a million books everywhere, also I still have more books coming in. I have a lot of like new releases that were sent to me very kindly, and I'm very grateful. I feel like I need to start saying no more often, but there are a lot of books that I'm very excited for, like sneak peek for a future book haul. I got the newest Christina Forrest book. I'm so excited for this, so there's no way I was going to turn that down. Hello. Christina Forrest's two other books are amazing. She's the queen of contemporary for me, at least. Today I'm mainly attacking series. I realize I have either full series of books that I like haven't read yet, haven't planned to read, like they've just been sitting there. I don't know why I purchased all of them, and I haven't read any of them. So yeah, attacking series. And then I also have a lot of first in series, and then just when am I gonna read you? When am I gonna read you? So I'm gonna go shelf by shelf and unhaul the book. To keep it interesting, I'm gonna try and unhaul at least one book from every shelf. Let me tell you how many books that is. One second. 1, 2, 3. That is at least 18 books. I won't be unhauling any books from the middle shelf because literally they are all my favorites and I would cry. I'd rather, we're just not gonna talk about that. We're not gonna do that. So 2 books from these 2 massive shelves is the game for today, is the game plan. Let's go. Okay, peeps, we got our first stack, and this is from the white shelf. This is gonna be so hard. Oh my god, I can't. Okay. Gotta rehome these books to people who will appreciate them more. First book we have here is Burned by Ellen Hopkins. I was a really big Ellen Hopkins fan in middle school. I don't know why. I think it's just because it's written in free verse, so I loved that it felt that I was reading really big books, when in actuality this is a very easy read. And I don't know, being dyslexic, you would think that having all these kind of moving elements on the pages would make life difficult, but I actually just really enjoyed it. It kept me very engaged. So I literally own like nearly all of Ellen Hopkins' books. Just can't get rid of them just yet. They just mean a lot to me, so I can't do it. So sorry, that's keep. Ooh, this next one, How It Went Down by Kekla Magoon, is literally a favorite. I don't feel like I should go through literally every book with you just because I feel like that's going to take forever, but I will shout out favorites. This is a favorite. I love how it makes me think about police brutality. The argument is always like, oh, they were a thug or they deserved it because they were acting weird. It's like, last we checked, no one deserves to die brutally, period, right? Ooh, okay, this next one is under fire, so I don't know if you could tell because it's kind of hard to see, but this is The Uglies and the Pretties by Scott Westerfield. So I know this is a best-selling series. I was super interested in it. I literally have a comic book of that's like an adaptation of the first novel. It was really interesting, so I got this, but you know what, girl, I'm gonna unhaul this. I've had this for so many years and I haven't read it, and if I do want to read it, I think I'll just get it from the library. Beast Made of Night by Tochi Yamabochi, totally keeping. Akata Witch by Nadia Korafor, keeping. Dear Justice by Nick Stone, obviously keeping. Freshwater by Kweke Emezi, keep. First and Then by Emma Mills, keep. Another Ellen Hopkins book, definitely keeping it. What's this one called? The You I've Never Known, the drama. A Very Large Expanse of Sea by Todd Mathy, keep. Odd One Out by Nick Stone. This one is on the fence, but I'm gonna keep for now. In future unhauls we might revisit, just because the books that I want to keep on my shelf, I want to keep because I'm interested in rereading them. Like, I loved it so much, I would like to reread it. Not necessarily that I have to have a collection that is rereadable, like a very small collection, but I'd like it where I could literally look at every book on my shelf and be like, oh, I'd love to read you. You know what I mean? That's the vibe. On the come up, keep I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson, also a keep. And Becoming by Michelle Obama. I think this is a keep. I don't know if I'd reread it or just listen to it. So this one I'm actually, am I gonna put Michelle in a donate pile? I feel terrible doing it, but I might put it in the maybe pile. Y'all, this stack is very precarious and I'm a little scared, but let's go through it. Impulse by Ellen Hopkins, keep. Foundation by Isaac Asimov, don't know how to say his name, but keep. 1984 by George Orwell, keep. Nocturna, stop. So I think I'm gonna put this in the maybe pile because I know this is not a standalone, it's a series, so it's a first in a series that I have not started reading yet. So I'm gonna just put it in the maybe pile. I might be doing a try a chapter challenge again with books that are like first in a series. I think I'm gonna love this book, but it's just been sitting on my shelf for so long and I haven't been like pushed to read it, so it's going in the maybe pile. Allegiance by Veronica Roth. I almost said Victoria Aveyard. The Zodiac Legacy by Stan Lee. I think I'm gonna put this in the maybe pile too because this was a gift and I've been keeping it because I'm very like nostalgic towards Stan Lee. I really love the Marvel Cinematic Universe and comic book universe, like my bread and butter. And I know he did have a hand in this book, though I don't think he is one of the writers, so I'm gonna put it in the maybe pile. I should try out the first chapter and see if I actually like it. This next book is also another first in the series, probably a good read, but it's just like I have so many series on my mind that I really want to read. So with series like this where it's like, do I need this in my collection? Probably not. So yeah, also gonna put this in the maybe, though obviously could be a great book. I just haven't read it and there are nearly like 50 plus series ahead of it that I really want to get to. So prioritizing, you know, what's gonna make me happy. This was important. Ooh, Winter Accounts, this one. I think I'm also gonna put this in the maybe pile because I wanted to read this strictly because it's I think I just heard great reviews about it and like, yo, I don't even think this is a genre that I like. I've been dipping into more adult contemporary novels, but they definitely still lean towards romance. So, don't judge me. The Hate You Give, keep. The Shadow Queen by CJ Redwine. Such a great, underrated fantasy series. Love it. I own 3 of the books in this series and world and have not read them. So again, there are so many series ahead of all the other series. You know what I mean? Really need to get on that. I think that's going to be a really fun fall thing to do, is catch up on all those books. Because they're magical retellings of, like, you know, Sleeping Beauty and The Evil Queen and all that stuff. When They Call You a Terrorist, a memoir, keeping it. A Gathering of Shadows by V.E. Schwab. I am currently keeping this, though I have thought about unhauling this series just because it's not a favorite of mine. Don't know if I'd reread it, but I feel like I should attempt rereading it before unhauling it because I loved the second book in the series, A Gathering of Shadows, A Darker Shade of Magic, and A Conjuring of Light. So the beginning and end of the trilogy, not my bread and butter, but the second one, so good. So it's like, do I just keep the second one and just have nostalgic feelings towards it, or do I just unhaul the series and be like, you know what, I had a fun ride while reading it, but it's not everything, you know? So keeping for now. We have The Inheritance, so I'm keeping this, but I haven't read it and I definitely need to. Saltly Bittersweet, keep. Who Put That Song On, keep. Pride and Prejudice, I'm keeping this, though I have not read it yet and I still don't really know if I'm gonna like it. Forget, I literally, my brain cannot remember how to pronounce this word. Is it Persephone? Who is it? Woody? It's sci-fi. This sci-fi book. Keeping. Haven't read it. Need to read it. And then we have Red at the Bone by Jacqueline Woodson, which is a keep. The yellows are just so pretty. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo is a keep. I literally just purchased it, so I'm hoping to read the whole series because I'm dumb and I purchased the whole series. But I'm gonna give myself like maybe the rest of this year to be like, am I gonna actually read this series, or just think about, oh, I'd love this series and then never read it, which is it's been the norm. Little in Line, keep. Perks of Being a Wallflower, keep. Brown Girl Dreaming by Jacqueline Woodson, keep. Daisy Jones and the Six, keep. Queenie by Candace Carty-Williams, definite keep. Crazy book, my god. The Girl Who Played with Fire, keep. But like, why did I do this to myself? Why do I keep doing this to myself? Uprooted by Naomi Novak, definite keep. What a great fantasy series, or fantasy standalone actually. Harbor Me by Jacqueline Woodson, literally one of my favorites of hers, a definite keep. Bookish and the Beast by what's her name? Ashley Poston. I'm actually gonna unhaul this because though I loved Geekerella and I did enjoy myself while reading this book, I don't think I necessarily need to keep it. I don't have the inkling of, oh, I'd like to reread this for fun. Whereas Geekerella, the first in the series, was so fun, so many fun references. It was just such a just a joy to read that I'm gonna just keep Geekerella. And the rest of the trilogy, the companion novels, I just don't like love. They're like 3 stars. They're just not my favorite. Whereas Geekerella for some reason felt like a freaking 5-star adventure, which we love, we stand. Where the Rhythm Takes You, keep. Copper Sun, keep. The Skin I'm In by Sharon G. Flake, a definite keep. Literal fave. Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson, keep. Jackpot by Nick Stone, keep. Upper World, keep. Charming as a Verb, keep. Right Where I Left You by Julian Williams, right? No, Julian Winters, keep. Goliath by Tochi Omabochi, keep. A Song Below Water, I've had this book for like ever. I'm still gonna keep it because I still really do want to read it, but I'm like starting to be like, I need to get to you. I need to step up my game. The Gilded Ones, keep. Fiora, is that how you say that? I'm probably saying it wrong. Keep. Haven't read it, but keep. The Trend of the Video, I haven't read it, but I want to. Long Walk to Freedom, keep. Ray Bearer by Jordan Ifueko, a definite keep. Literal fave. Huge book. Priority of the Orange Tree, keep. Not necessarily because I've read it, but because I want to read it. And it's just so big. Maybe I'll try and read this during Pride Month. So many books. First one, I'm actually going to give back to my roommate. It is Making Nice. I have no idea what it's about, and I have so many books I want to read. Ooh, we have 2 cute romances. One I've read, one I'm in the middle of reading. Keep. We have the next book in the series, Foundation and the Empire by Isaac Asimov. Keep. Definitely a really fun fantasy. Sci-fi. Definitely really fun sci-fi. A Tree Grows in Brooklyn, a classic that I just feel like I should read because I have no idea. Just the inkling. I'm just like, Holes, keep. Just purchased it. Better keep it to actually read it. The Cost of Knowing by Brittany Morris, keep. The Wish Granter by CJ Redwine, reference to a series that I need to finish, keep. Throne of Glass, which I literally have like almost the entire Throne of Glass series. Have I read a single one? No. But here's the thing, my sister loves this series, so she gave me her whole set because she repurchased them in like a special edition. So I feel really inclined that I like have to give this series a go. I feel like I'll like it because it's fantasy and stuff. I just know people either really love Sarah J Maas or really hate her, so I don't know where I lie just yet. We have The Midnight Star by Marion Liu. This is part of the Young Elite series, which I really enjoyed, so keep. The Water Dancer, keep. Crown of Thunder by Tochi Yamabochi. Again, a duology I need to finish. That's the theme of this video. Let's call out all the books that I need to finish. American Street by Ibiza Boy, keep. The Kingdom of Back by Marion Liu, keep. Redemption by Jordan Ifueko, keep. Binti by Nnedi Okorafor, keep. The King's Cage by Victoria Aveyard, definite keep. No one come for me for liking Red Queen. We all have those books. We all have those books. I know you have one too. We have House of Sky and Breath. This title, I never remember it. Crescent City 2. Definitely gonna keep. Really enjoyed the first one. It was fun. I feel like I have to justify. I'm not gonna justify myself. Reading is about having fun, and my necklace has been crooked this whole time. Amari and the Night Brothers by B.B. Alston. Keep. Carve the Mark by Veronica Roth. Definite keep. One of my favorite duologies. If you didn't know, now you know. Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. Need to get on it. Haven't read it. Think I'm gonna love it. I really hope I do. Because first in a series, and I just still haven't gotten around to it. I think the sequel is coming out soon too, and everyone freaking loves it, so you should probably read it. We have Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. Really enjoyed this book. Really enjoy this author. Tend to love all her works, so I'm gonna keep that. So I got rid of one book. Okay, this shelf I feel like I could get rid of some. Let's see. Ellen Hopkins, Glass, Perfect. I can't do it. I can't do it. The only Brandon Sanderson book that I have not read, I'm gonna keep because I do really want to read it. I've heard this is a good introductory book to Brandon Sanderson. Tricks and Rumble by Ellen Hopkins. Gonna keep it. Well read Black Girl. This is a good anthology, though I'm not a big fan of anthologies. I feel inclined to keep it just because I don't know if I want to reread it, so that just doesn't make sense. Ignore me. Wondersmith by Jessica Townsend, which is just a favorite middle grade series of mine. This one I actually do think I'm going to unhaul. It is Elizabeth Aceveto's first published work, and I know, blasphemy getting rid of something from Elizabeth Acevedo, but I didn't really enjoy it. It's about a bunch of myths that I don't really understand or know about, so did the research, kind of learned something new. Fun, but like definitely not going to reread that, so I'll give it to someone who wants that, and I don't know if it's in print still, so. The Grim Fairy Tales. How did I forget this title? That's so silly. I think I'm actually gonna get rid of this. I'm never gonna flip through this. I don't. It's just not going to happen. Pursuit of the Truth. I actually am going to get rid of this, even though this was kindly gifted to me. I feel super evil getting rid of this, but it's a romance, but it has a thrillery aspect to it, and I just don't vibe with the characters. I've tried to start reading it, and it's just not my cup of tea. So it's okay. I'm kindly, respectfully disowning her. Ooh, Black Girls Must Be Magic. Definite keep. Literal new fave series. The Skin I'm In by Sharon G. Flake. Oh, look how stunning this cover is. Very excited to read this. Haven't read it yet, but definitely keeping it. One of my favorite contemporaries, All the Things We Never Knew by Leora Tamani. I like how I look at this like I'm gonna read the thing, but instead I just pull it from memory because that's easier than remembering how to read, apparently. We have Geekerella, which I already talked about. Definitely keeping it. Daughters of Jubilation. Freaking seriously really need to read that book. Like, what's taking me so long? If I... Loud car passing. If I Tell You the Truth by Jasmine Kaur. Really good. Highly recommend. Like, highly recommend. I don't know if you can see how many tabs I put on it. Lots of tabs, lots of good notes. Okay, Alice Oseman's Loveless. Funny, I annotated this pretty heavily because I read this for a live show. But like thinking back, like I don't love the main character's narrative voice very much, but I'm gonna keep it now. It's good, like a romantic ace representation, and I annotated the crap out of this, but I might unhaul this at some point and just really discount it because I highlighted it a lot. Yeah, it helped me feel seen, but I don't know if I like the character enough to keep reading it. You know what I mean? That's probably really mean to say. Frankenstein. Haven't read it. It's a classic. I'm going to keep it till I read it, or if just ignore it on my shelf, apparently. Foolish Hearts by Emma Mills. I actually think I'm going to get rid of this, even though this is about an actor in a small town or something. I haven't been drawn to it. I'm sorry. The Traitor Prince by CJ Redwine. You heard me, it's a series I need to finish. Before the Ever After by Jacqueline Woodson. Favorite author. Can never diss her like that. Fire in the Streets, which is by Kekla Magoon, which I spoke of before already, a favorite author of mine. This is a companion novel to a different book, The Rock and the River, which is a great story. Looking forward to this companion novel, which is following one of the girls in the story. It's gonna be good. I can't wait. This one, White Smoke by Tiffany D. Jackson, though I love Tiffany D. Jackson, I think I'm gonna have to unhaul this just because it's not a preferred genre of mine. I love YA, mostly romantic YA if I'm being honest, or fantasy. Not very much thriller, horror, suspense. Not my jam. Not my bread and butter. So gonna sell all these books that I'm getting rid of are going to be on my Pango Books account. If you don't know, I started selling all my unhauled books online through the app. So if you are in the US, you can totally order these books. I'm doing a sale right now for Memorial Day, so go check it out. And if you're a new Pango Books user on the app, if you use the code JMD5, you get a discount. So I highly recommend checking it out. Next we have Pride by A.B. Savoy. Literal favorites, could never get rid of. And then lastly we have Mary Lou Sky Hunter, a first in a series that I haven't read yet. But I'm inclined to keep this just because it is sci-fi-y and I do like Mary Lou, so I guess I'll keep it even though I keep neglecting all these freaking books. This is gonna be a hard stack. I can already tell just looking at it. First, we got good old Ellen Hopkins. Keep. This is Genesis, which is a book my mom and my family actually have been talking about for forever, and everyone read it, and that was back in my prime I don't read, I hate reading days, which, you know, existed until I was like 20 or something. I literally avoided reading like the plague. Dyslexia. So I really want to read Genesis just so I can understand what the fuck my family was talking about. Then we have The Girl Who Kicks the Hornet's Nest. Keep. Just purchased it. Really shouldn't have bought the whole series without reading the first book. But a good book sale, man. Another Ellen Hopkins book. Keep. We have Animal Farm by George Orwell, which I feel just inclined to keep just because it hurts so bad. Good bad. Let Me Hear a Rhyme by Tiffany D. Jackson. A definite keep. Really good YA. Oh, here's a whole series. We got Red Rising. We got Morning Star, Golden Sun. I think Golden Sun is the second one and Morning Star is the third. Just a little out of order. I read Red Rising in one sitting and I was dumbfounded. There is a chunk in the first book where it got a little boring because they literally have this like excavation mission thing where all the students are kind of abandoned in the wilderness and they have to fend for themselves, and these two teams are literally like nearly fighting to the death to win this competition between them, and it gets really intense and gruesome. It feels like the Hunger Games in the middle of the book, but me saying that, and I haven't even read the Hunger Games. What? But I really enjoyed the first one. I read it in one sitting, so I did buy the rest of the series. I will read it one day, I promise you. Again, priority of all the series that I want to read. We got A Conjuring of Lights, already told you. Pretty sure I'm going to keep the series as of right now. Then we also have Black Liberation, which talks about the hashtag Black Lives Matter movement. Very interested to read that. And I have an arc of Ballad and the Dagger. Excited to read it. It's already out, so my review is late as always, because in case you didn't see, I have a lot of books. Got a lot of books. I mean, I have time, but not that much time. We have Red's Untold Tale, which is a Once Upon a Time story. Very good. Highly recommend these books if you like the Once Upon a Time series. We have a novella from Three Dark Crowns, and this is Queens of Friendburg by Ken Dark Lake. Good if you like the series. which I do, but I still need to read the fourth and final one because apparently I'm only capable of getting a few books into the series and then abandoning it like a champ. A River of Royal Blood by Amanda Joy. Loved it. Want to finish the duology. I will finish the duology. And I also got the art back in the day when it had this beautiful artwork. So that's fun. Ooh, this is the Uglies manga I was talking about earlier. If I continue to read the Uglies, I'm gonna read the comics of it, or the mangas of it, because that was a really fun and engaging way of reading through it. Okay, literally haven't gotten rid of anything. Oh my god. Okay, I think I'm gonna do something terrible because this book has literally all of my favorite authors. The other thing I'm gonna unhaul this because it's just, you know, cute YA romancy stories. It's great. It talks about black joy, it talks about self-love, talks about loving others, communication. Beautiful. Beautiful. All set in New York during a blackout. Beautiful. Will I reread this? Honestly, no. So I will rehome it and hopefully give it to someone who will thoroughly enjoy it. To quickly storm through these because I think I'm going to keep all of them. Empire of Storms. Gotta keep that. Eventually might read that series. Chronicles of Narnia. My literal childhood. Can't get rid of it. Girls of Snow and Glass. This is a favorite of mine. A great winter read. This is a retelling of The Evil Queen. And it's queer and it's great. It's a standalone. So if you need more standalone fantasy, highly recommend, especially for Pride Month. Go for it. An Enchantment of Ravens by Margaret Rogerson. Highly recommend. One of my favorite fae stories. Obviously The Cruel Prince is good. I like that trilogy. But this has my heart. Has my heart. Walking in the Wind and Daughters of Miri and Descendants of the First. I laugh only because I read this first book, liked it, purchased the sequel in the series, and haven't finished it. There's so many series where I just need to do it. Okay, that's gonna be the first part of this unhaul video. I'm gonna do a second part just because I literally own 300 books. So this video is gonna be crazy, ridiculous long if I mention every book by name. You know what I mean? So breaking it up, but I did want to count and see how many books I'm unhauling. Ooh. Let's see if I'm even close to my goal of 18 books. So we have 1, 2, 14. Wow. Okay, so halfway through and I've already gotten rid of 14, and again I am going to do another try a chapter challenge to see if any of these I should keep. I'm thinking mostly for this stack, Nocturna and the Zodiac Legacy, but everything else I'm pretty confident I can unhaul and like try and rehome to you guys if you guys want to check out the Pango Books app and see if you'd like to purchase any of these books. They're secondhand, so they're a little loved, but it's better than buying new books all the time. I'm trying to be better and buy more secondhand books. But yeah, that's the stack for this half of the video. I will muster up the courage to continue because your girl's tired, guys. How do people do this? How do people do like bookshelf tours and like name every single book on their shelf? I'm out of breath just thinking about it. But yeah, that's today's video. If you made it to the end of this video, leave down below this emoji so I know you are the real MVP, baby. Yeah, and I really love and appreciate you so much. I will see you in the next video. Make sure you subscribe and like this video so that way I know that you actually like this video and I'll keep doing more content like this, okay? Okay, cool.